What's going on? How you guys doing? This is Martin Mesa with Rate One Financial, president and owner of Rate One Financial. We're a mortgage company here in Pasadena, and welcome back to another weekly post, all things mortgage, all things real estate. So today what I'm going to talk about is, okay, so you finally got pre-approved for a home loan to buy a house. Great. Now what do you do? Good question, right? Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about the process from home mortgage pre-approval to getting the keys to move into your first house that you buy, assuming you're a first-time buyer. So you're pre-approved. Now what? What do we do? Okay, first thing you want to do is you want to find a real estate agent. A lot of people ask me, should I even use a real estate agent? Well, that's a good question. Absolutely. Absolutely, you should use a real estate agent. A real estate agent is a licensed professional in the industry. They know what they're doing. You may think you know what you're doing, but most of the time, there's a lot of things about the home buying process that you don't know. And a licensed realtor will make sure that you do not fall through the cracks, to make sure that you don't do anything that's going to get you in any kind of legal hot water. Because a licensed realtor knows the laws and is out to protect you, to make sure you don't get sued or anything like that. So for sure you should use a licensed realtor. They know what they're doing. They have access to all the properties that are for sale, and many times they have access to properties that the general public doesn't even know are about to come up for sale. So you won't know about that, but they would. So definitely hook up with a good realtor. And just like lenders, I'm a lender, there's a lot of good realtors and there's a lot of bad realtors. So whoever you wind up working with, make sure it's somebody that is credentialed for sure, and preferably somebody that is recommended by somebody you trust, like your lender. I pre-approve buyers and I connect them to the realtors I know and trust all the time, and it usually works out just fine that way. So that's a great way to start, is finding a realtor that's recommended by the lender that you've already been pre-approved with. So do that. The next thing you do is you start looking at homes. The realtor you work with will start sending you information about all the properties in the areas that you're looking at. And you just start looking at homes on the weekends, going to open houses. The realtor is going to do that for you, with you. And over a while, you'll get a feel for what kind of home is a good buy versus a not so good buy in the price range you're looking at. And then once you feel comfortable and you know what's good, you know what's not, you find something you like that's a good deal for the price range you're looking at, you're ready to start submitting offers on homes. And submitting offers is just a matter of the realtor you work with writing up an offer on paper based on what you want to pay for the house, and submitting that paperwork to the seller. And you don't really have to do anything. You just basically give the realtor instructions on what you want. You will have to sign some papers, of course, but the realtor should do pretty much everything for you, and you just sign on the dotted line. So you'll start submitting offers on homes, and it could take a while for you to find a house eventually, but eventually you will find a house. So you might have to submit several offers on several homes, but eventually one day you're going to get a call from your realtor and say, hey, your offer got accepted, and you'll be opening escrow. And then you'll be like, whoa, that's really happening. So it's going to be a nerve-wracking experience at first when you finally get a house, because you've been looking, you didn't think this day would ever come, but you finally got an offer accepted, you're about to open escrow, you're actually going to get a house. So escrow opens, now what? Okay, good question. The first thing that's going to happen is, once the official escrow process starts, is you're going to be required to review all kinds of disclosures, whether it's real estate related disclosures that your realtor is going to ask you to look at and sign, or mortgage lender disclosures, loan disclosures that the loan officer is going to need you to review and sign based on the specific terms of the loan for that particular property. So there's going to be a bunch of paperwork that the realtor is going to present to you for you to review and sign. And they're going to be there to help answer all your questions, because there's a lot of forms on there that you've never seen before that you're going to have a lot of questions about, and they'll help you understand the forms and answer all your questions so that you feel comfortable signing on the dotted line. So then that's going to start the process. You're going to be asked to enter your deposit into escrow, so you have to write a check to escrow. That's what opens escrow, for the deposit that you've already pre-arranged and pre-agreed to deposit if they accepted your offer. And then it's going to go into underwriting. The loan's going to go into underwriting. The underwriter's going to review all your stuff, all the property information, all your income, your assets, your credit report, and issue an initial approval. And then that's when we get the appraisal ordered, meaning we send an appraiser out to the property to appraise the property to make sure the appraiser thinks the house is worth what the lender needs it to be worth, because remember, the property is the lender's collateral on the loan. And then that's when you're also going to be doing a bunch of inspections of the home. You're going to probably have a home inspector inspect the home. You're going to do this, do that, maybe have a termite company inspect the home, just to make sure the home doesn't have any major issues that would, if presented, prevent you from wanting to move forward on buying that property. It's really to protect you, the buyer, to make sure that you're comfortable buying the house that you're buying in the condition it's in. Okay, so you're gonna have to do appraisals, you're gonna have to do inspections, and then you're gonna get the underwriter to approve the loan, and the underwriter's gonna ask for a few more things from you. It's standard stuff. They're called conditions, and it's usually stuff like explain this, or if they saw something funky that happened 10 years ago on your credit report, you might have to just type a little explanation letter explaining what happened. Then you might ask for an updated pay stub, since the pay stubs we've gotten from you last time are maybe a little old, maybe an updated bank statement. Conditions, that's what they're called. So just a couple things that the lender needs to get before they'll issue the final approval. So now you've got final approval. Bam, they've gotten the appraisal in. Bam, everything's ready to go. That's when you schedule an appointment to sign the final loan documents with the notary public. And you sign everything. It should be exactly what you were expecting, because it should be consistent with what the initial loan disclosures were that your lender asked you to sign when you first started the escrow process. And it's just reaffirming everything and signing on the dotted line that, yeah, this is the loan I want. Boom, boom, boom. After you sign the final loan docs, your realtor is going to do a final walkthrough with you. You're going to do a final walkthrough of the house, make sure nothing's changed since the last time you saw it. And then, assuming that all goes good, escrow and the loan should close a couple days after. And that's when escrow closes. That's when you get your keys, and that's when you're a homeowner, and that's when you can move in. So that is the whole process from A to Z in a nutshell. So you just know it now. Don't be intimidated by the process. Of course, it's a little bit more involved than that, but in general, the process is the same all the time. So just rely on your realtor, rely on your lender, and they'll walk with you every step of the way along that process. And trust them. Do what you're told. Whenever they ask you to do something, just do it. Whenever they ask you to give them something, just do it quickly, and everything's going to be okay. All right, thanks again. This is Martin Mesa with Rate 1 Financial. Have a great week.